Good morning. So, the Archtop is now dried overnight.
Yep.
So the hard glue has set.
It's the moment of truth.
The moment of truth. So we're going to declamp. Declamp, whatever you want to say it.
This moment could be a little bit scary, but
Well,
you got faith in one's own ability and
faith in the glue.
yeah, faith in the glue.
Faith in the rabbit or cow or whatever it is that gave up its hide for this.
So I'm zooming in on the edge here.
It's a little.
Yes, that was really the most severe point, wasn't it?
There, and also at the back here is a slight overhang, but that's easily fixed.
Yeah.
So just shaving a little bit off and repainting that line basically. So, but no, the rest of it I'm quite pleased with. So this is where it starts to overhang a little bit at the back. But as I said, a few strokes with a sandpaper, and that'll come back. And this is only a painted.
Yeah, not an actual binding.
No, that's right. Yeah. So with the application of a little bit more paint, you would never know.
So traditionally, the binding is like a plasticky kind of hard rubbery kind of material, or are they?
It's what kind of plastic is it?
It's flexible.
It's slightly flexible. It dissolves in acetone. So what would that make it? Some kind of acetate, maybe? I don't know. Nylon. And what they would do then is, after the guitar has been glued together, this is when they make a new guitar, I suppose. They run a router or something around the edge and make a little dipped recess. And that is where the binding is glued in. And that, it covers up that line. So when they build a new guitar, the top or the back is always left slightly bigger, so you can clamp it together. And you don't have to worry about, last night when we were gluing this, it started slipping around a little bit, and it was quite stressful trying to make it line up 100%. Well, when you're building a new guitar, that's not really an issue, because if it moves a little bit, it's no drama, it's coming off anyway.
Yeah, especially if the back piece of the new guitar is a bit larger and they just use a router or something to trim the overhanging.
Exactly. So you always make it a little bit bigger, and then you use a self-positioning router and a little wheel on it, and just run around the edge. Then you glue your binding in. And the binding is usually just held on with sticky tape like this, or masking tape, and then trimmed back the next day. So what happens then is that the binding lays pretty much flush this way, but overhangs a little bit the other way. Mm-hmm. And then next day you trim it back the other way, and then basically end up with a really neat joint.
Well, this is looking fairly trustworthy so far. Looks like it's holding fairly well.
I'm 99.99998% happy with this joint.
So mildly confident.
Mildly confident. Yeah. I had to stick an 8 in at the end there because it's just, you can never get that last 9.
Well, it's always a relief when you're doing something like this and it works out well. Is it a bit of a rattle towards the top, or is it just?
That's up.
Oh, that's the broken.
Well, it's not the broken ones. It's just that there's no
looseness,
there's no string tension.
Yeah. But the body seems solid.
Body is tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is sweet ass. So it's got a few scuffs and huffs on it, but once I get my, I'm just gonna clean it up, wipe it down with a bit of alcohol.
The cracks that were re-glued are still
bit
visible.
of tequila.
Put some tequila in your guitar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, do some Mexican tunes, and then a bit of kind of wax. Hello.
Ubervax.
Überwax. We are going to Überwax. Sorry, it's my accent. V's and W's has always been my problem. Some wax. And I reckon it should look very adequate. Very adequate. As I said, it's an old guitar, and I don't want it to look brand new.
No, you don't.
I don't want to stand it back and respray it and turn it into a brand new instrument. Those are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, where's the character in that?
Yeah, no, I want it to look like a good 55-year-old guitar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm after. And I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to end up.
With no added damage, like relicking.
No relic.
What do we think about relicking? I mean, you take a perfectly good guitar and you drag it around the parking lot until it looks like it's been touring for 30 years. Is there an appeal there for you?
To me, it's a bit like seeing a 12-year-old with a stuck-on beard at a fancy dress party.
Yeah, right.
Glasses and a beard and a hat, trying to look like an old man. Like, it's going to end up there sooner or later. So, no.
Some people never get a beard. Yeah.
Well, it saves a lot on razors, doesn't it?
Razors.
Hell razors. This is looking very sweet here.
Yeah.
I might leave those last two on just for memory's sake.
Just for the look.
Nah, let's take them off.
See, what a relief when the last piece of tape comes off and the entire guitar hasn't exploded into smithereens.
Last couple of boing! The whole thing falls apart, eh?
Yeah.
Now this is pretty sweet here.
Yeah.
It's all tight.
Yeah.
Together.
There's a bit of you can hear a bit of resonance in there, in the belly of the beast.
Well, the interesting thing that I found when I was working with this and pulling it apart and all that kind of stuff is that the timber, being 55 years old, has become very dry and brittle. There's a few little cracks that emerge just by handling it almost. But what that does is that adds an incredible amount of resonance.
Yeah, I suppose if there's no moisture in the timber,
That's right, and the timber becomes
it
lighter.
can resonate more freely, maybe.
So it still retains all its strength, maybe not the flexibility, but the strength, which is then, but the lightness of it, because the moisture is gone, is kind of translated into more volume or more body. I mean, I say this, I have never heard this guitar.
Yeah, well,
We pulled it out of the box
we
and it basically pulled it apart at that point, so I've never heard what this guitar sounds like.
it was unusable.
Well, that's
Because it needed the repairs, so
playable. The back was off.
we don't know where the sound of it is coming. We don't know where we're coming from. We only know that we can work towards.
Well, all I know is that it's probably, I reckon, it's going to sound better than it did when it was new.
Yeah.
Just because of the age. Just because the timber has really settled and all that type of stuff. I reckon it's going to have a better sound than it did when it was brand new.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that.
But having said that, this back in its day, this was like a $27 guitar.
Yeah.
Which
So-
today equates to about, I don't know, what did we work up? About 250 bucks?
Yeah, 200, 250. So it's kind of like, I guess, an entry level instrument. Yeah.
Very much an entry-level instrument.
Doesn't mean it can't be great though.
No, because it was made by one of the world's biggest musical instrument manufacturers, Harmony, and what they did in order to make a cheaper instrument, they cut some corners. But the corners they cut, I think, were very good corners. Good corners, yes. They like spraying on the fret markers rather than spending the time of doing an inlay badly. They just painted on the fret markers. Now that's not going to affect the playability or the sound at all.
No, not at all. And even visually, if you're standing at the back of the room and you see someone playing this thing, does it really matter?
That's right. They painted on the bindings rather than putting bindings on, so they saved money there in making it. Again, it's not going to affect the sound.
And it still functions kind of. It still covers up the join, as you can see.
It's not that uncommon actually for bindings to be painted on. I think a lot of entry-level guitars have done similar things. So I think they cut the right corners.
Yeah, they didn't cut any corners with the, choosing the materials.
Solid maple top and back and sides. The general construction internally, which we have inspected in detail, is fine. So I'm a bit excited to get this thing up and running because I think it's going to be quite a nice sounding instrument.
Gonna throw some jazz flats on there.
Yeah, so some jazz flats on, and I think it'll be great fun to play. So
Great.
anyway, next step now, clean up the fretboard a little bit. I'll just trim back that edge a little bit so that it doesn't hang over like that. And we've got to fix that one tuning peg.
Yep.
Fix the broken bridge, because that snapped off, as you remember.
And I was just looking here, there's something interesting going on here with the fretboard, the fingerboard here.
Here?
Where, yes, it's like a separate piece.
Yeah, the piece from there up seems to be, there's a joint through there, so that's actually a separate piece.
Yes.
And it kicks back a fair way.
It kicks back a fair way, and I'm not sure if that's just
intentional,
a warp over time, or if they just did that to try and...
I'm thinking it's probably a warp. But, you know, it's not a big drama, you just got to push a little bit harder there. It's in the middle of the string. And it doesn't have a lot of frets.
It doesn't have a big cutaway or anything, so you're not probably going to venture into that area too much anyway when you're playing this one.
Just a couple of notes here and there. Generally, this is not a... So not to say it's not a solo instrument, you would certainly solo on it. But it's very much a comping guitar.
Yeah.
So that, like, there was really no need to go right up here. So I think they, from there onwards, are kind of like, oh yeah, we'll stick something on.
We'd probably might be able to alter it if you wanted to, though.
But I don't think it'll matter. I think it's the middle of the string.
Yeah.
So to push it down that little bit extra, I don't think it's worth trying to pull it up and reposition it and re-glue it.
Yeah.
As I said, every now and then you might just hit a note or two up there if you're playing a bit of a solo.
Yeah, we are rescuing this instrument, not trying to turn it into some kind of
that wasn't,
Steve Vai precision shred machine.
Shredding machine. Behind in an office.
Oh dear.
I've got some documents that need shredding.
Yeah.
Okay, where's my axe? Okay. Tune in for the next stage, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we're running out of...